Welcome to Break Free to Brilliance podcast, empowering women in business through thought-provoking interviews and insights. Embrace your authentic power, explore the impact of your story, and discover how writing your best-selling book can amplify your message, authority, and the 3 I's: impact, influence, and income. Let each episode guide you towards brilliance in minutes. This is your host, Seema Giri. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Break Free to Brilliance. This is your friend and host, Seema. Now, before we get into the episode today, I want to set the tone for this conversation because it is a personal one too. It's one that doesn't get enough airtime, I feel, in the entrepreneurial world, especially among women, creatives, thought leaders, those of us who feel deeply, care deeply, and still want to lead boldly. Today, we're talking about visibility burnout, that sticky, silent fatigue that creeps in when you're constantly showing up, trying to be seen, trying to add value, trying to build your brand, but inside, you're exhausted. You're second guessing yourself and you're wondering, is this even working? And how much of myself do I have to give up to be seen? If that hits a nerve, keep listening. Let's talk about what visibility burnout actually looks like. Visibility burnout isn't just being tired, it's emotional fatigue from being performative, from always needing to have something to say, something to sell, and something to post. And this can get quite a bit, especially if you are an introvert and you are an empath. And I believe even for those who are natural extroverts, they also need some downtime. And this is sneaky. I find it often disguises itself as, I just need to batch better. Maybe I should rebrand again. I probably need a new funnel. But what really is happening is this. You've lost your center. You've been too focused on what the algorithm wants, what your coach says works, what your industry idol is doing, that you've drifted away from what you want to say, from your voice. Burnout doesn't just come from working hard, it comes from working out of alignment as well. So I'm going to be honest with you, I've lived this. When I first started showing up online, especially after launching my book, there was this invisible pressure to keep it going, to be everywhere, and to capitalize on the momentum. And I did. I did speaking gigs, social posts, interviews, podcasts. I was visible. And people would come up to me and say, Seema, you are so good at branding. You're so good at this. You are everywhere. But let me tell you, I was exhausted. I needed time to just retract, go in my corner, and just be. And many times I also felt disconnected because I felt like I was being someone who I'm not. Now, there is a level of stepping out of your comfort zone and becoming the person you're meant to be. We're continuously evolving. But I felt I wasn't creating from a place of alignment. I was creating from, I believe, fear, from urgency, from if I stop, then I'll look like I'm not consistent and maybe they'll forget me. Have you felt this way? And eventually, I hit a wall. Not just a little wall, a full on, shut down your laptop and question your purpose wall. And what brought me back wasn't strategy. It wasn't a new social media calendar. It was stillness, clarity, and a radical return to myself. So let's discuss what the real antidote to visibility burnout is. How do you show up without selling your soul? Let's go deep. Deeper than batch your content or repurpose your post. Here's what I've learned, and this is what I teach my clients. Number one, your voice is not a product, it is a gift. Treat it that way. You want to protect it. Stop giving away your energy to perform for an audience you haven't even chosen. Number two, your presence is the strategy, not the filter, not the call to action, not the hashtag. Your energy, your clarity, your conviction. That's what magnetizes people, and it can't be faked. Number three, create from overflow, not obligation. When you force content out of pressure, your audience feels it. But when you create because you're lit up, anchored, and clear, they feel that too. Guess which one builds trust? The latter, exactly. And to be honest, I stopped doing my podcast for a couple of months because I did not know which direction it was going and where I needed to go and if it was even making a difference. Everything I share with you, I've experienced that myself. So I took time off. I just explored and I just felt and I gave it space and I gave it time. And then I came back to it knowing where I want to take this, why I'm doing this, and how it feels. And I really go with that feeling. It's made a tremendous difference. And number four, take strategic visibility breaks. Yes, on purpose. Visibility is not about being always on. It's about being known for something meaningful that requires reflection and rest. Number four, take strategic visibility breaks. Yes, on purpose. See, visibility is not about being always on, it's about being known for something meaningful. And this requires reflection and rest. You can pause and still be powerful. Let's together redefine visibility as legacy work. Let me give you a reframe. Visibility isn't a vanity metric, it's legacy building. Every time you show up, whether it's on stage, on a post, in a podcast, you're shaping how you're going to be remembered. That's not pressure, that's purpose. And guess what? Legacy is never built from burnout. It's built from clarity, intention, and radical self trust. And my friends, you don't have to shout to be heard. Here's what I want to leave you with. You don't have to dance on reels unless you want to, post daily, or reveal your entire personal life to build a magnetic brand. You don't have to be shout to be heard. You just have to speak with truth and depth. And do it consistently. Even if it's less often, but more you. You are the algorithm. When you show up fully aligned, the right people will always find you. So if this resonated, please take a moment to pause and check in with yourself. Where are you performing? Where are you aligned? What part of your voice are you ready to reclaim? Thank you so much for being here. Share this episode with someone who really needs to hear it. And if you're ready to break free from performative branding and finally build a visibility strategy that feels like you, let's connect. I'll see you next week. And until then, stay brilliant, stay grounded, and stay real. This is Seema. And I want to take a moment to mention that the content shared in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. My guests and I share personal experiences and real life examples that have helped us live our best lives, much like friends sharing stories. While we strive to provide valuable information, it's important to consult with professionals for advice tailored to your individual circumstances. Thank you for being part of our community, and thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, your story is your strength. Until next time, stay inspired and keep making a difference. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Break Free to Brilliance podcast, and I hope you had some key takeaways that you can implement right away. Be sure to subscribe to Break Free to Brilliance wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow along with us on social media using the links in the show notes below.